Last night it's crazy because to be all the way in the Halloween thing, we're around that time of the year.
That's funny shirt, by the way.
You like this, man? Like, I'm pregnant with beer and pizza. So, anyway, I went to a Halloween party and, they had a tarot card reader there. And, of course, I'm an interesting person and that type of stuff interests me. So, I was like, yeah, I signed up for it. We get in there. Me and my lady, we go in there and, first, she's first and boom, boom, boom. She just starts nailing it. Then she starts kind of going to our relationship, nails it. Then she starts to go, then I sit down and she nails it. And, it got scary because I'm like, at a certain point, I'm like, this is more than cards. This woman can like see inside of my soul, or like maybe she's like, can talk to, maybe there's some inner being that's like watching me just play out this life experience eating popcorn. But she knew some very, very vital information, and to say less, it scared the shit out of me. So you might see a new reformed version of me. And I don't know if anybody else has been through a similar experience, but it made it definitely to where I was definitely ready to go home after my tarot card reading. So
I will say, you still got the glasses on.
Yeah, I'm still full.
What that mean?
We got to create a name for Ash with the glasses.
What's that, man? What's this character's name?
I don't know.
I gotta put some thought into that one.
Yeah. But we got a guest on the show. Who's here? She's not on the camera, but she's here.
Yo, I'm back.
Yes,
We got our sister April in here.
So we don't
April back in the building.
Back in the building,
Come on now, the one and only. We gotta get the sounds together.
Oh, the sounds are gonna be popping. But I'll say this: I literally when I heard the doorbell ring, and I was like, "Oh man, is this a trick or treater?" I was like, "Yes."
Let's
Jay
go.
said, "Nope, it's April," and I said, "Yes." Let's get to it.
Yes, we have so much fun every time I come.
Absolutely,
Ash is like,
great
I've been
time.
practicing, but I ain't gonna lie. Ash has been on point.
I've been better. I've been better.
He's been on point. You know what I'm saying? He had someone tagged up in the courtroom. You know what I'm saying, on a couple episodes before. So
I have channeled the trap. Before, I didn't know it was a trap, but now
There
I know
ain't
it's
no
a trap.
at
And I've channeled the
Ain't no
trap.
So you saying, wait, are you saying you got better at the trap?
Yes.
Oh, dang.
I've gotten better.
her trap.
My trap.
Oh, I got you.
What y'all call a trap.
I
just call
We don't be
just
trapping.
women's, like
Ingenuity?
intelligence and
Ingenuity?
intuition.
Oh Lord.
Okay.
Y'all call the trap, and I've channeled it in the corporate world, and I've led a few people into the trap.
Oh. All right, so let's kick it. I got something I want to talk about. We might revisit something we said before, just because like we got April here. This might be interesting.
Let's go.
Or we might not. But first off, it's your boy Jay.
I'm Thomas.
I'm Ashley Booker.
And I'm April.
Let's go. All right. If you're tuning in the first time, hopefully you're not. Hopefully you're a returning person that is watching us. And if you are watching us, that means you're on YouTube. If you listen to us, that means you're on Spotify.
Apple.
Yep. So if you don't know anything about previous episodes, please go on those platforms and subscribe to us. If you're on YouTube, still go to Spotify or Apple and subscribe, because we have a long list of episodes for season 1. We got to figure out where we're going to kill off season 1 and go to season 2, but
Let's
I
just
don't know.
keep going. Let's just have one big
Long one.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it'll be
One long season.
episode
The
1,000.
never-ending season.
Episode 1,000,000.
Like, dang, why they got season 1 if they don't keep it going?
Did I?
You know what I'm saying?
Did I?
Who said we had that
it.
season?
I just spoke it into existence.
You did.
No, you gotta
Episode 1,000,000.
start a
Let's
new
go.
season in the beginning of the year.
We'll
So
be
that way you
60,
can
70
say,
years old up
hey, we're coming back, we're refreshed, we got some new stuff.
That's good. Yeah, okay. I'm laughing and hearing April at the same time, like doing two things. I agree. We should probably knock off a new season. And,
Yeah,
in
season
the new
2,
year.
refreshed. Y'all can recap some old episodes, and then y'all can say, tonight, the season finale.
Yeah. Ooh, we have a special guest for the season finale.
Season
Yeah,
finale is
who's
gonna
that?
have to be during you got to be here
Let's go.
for season
Facts.
finale.
Yeah.
I will
Big
be here.
facts. We
Big
need to have a
facts.
round table of a bunch.
Hey, but you know what? We might do this though. We might get April the satellite hookup where she just got a mic.
Bro, I think I want to. I
Can
think
we
that would
really
be
do
dope.
that? I
Yeah.
think
No, we can.
I honestly
We
feel like
should.
a mic for you would really
We can.
add.
Yeah, I'm with that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
that
it'll
might-
be fun. East
agree.
Coast, West Coast, well,
got it.
Midwest, West Coast.
I got a couple people who want to jump on. They're like, man, just call me in. I'm like, we can actually do that.
Yeah.
We actually can.
Yeah, we got
Yeah.
the software. We got multiple
I'm with
hardware
it.
and software to do that.
And we do live in a new era, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, bruh. Like, we
That's-
just went
this
through
is
a whole
nothing.
COVID with
Yeah,
teams.
yeah.
Come
We
on.
can
And
totally
Zoom.
do. We can make this work.
Hey,
Make
shout
it
out
work.
to my AI friend out there. Man.
Yes. Hey, yo, shout out to the AI for sure. If y'all watching this shit 15 years from now,
Your
leave me
ass sucking
alone.
up to the robots again.
Right.
Leave me alone. I've always advocated for you guys. I always have.
He didn't have y'all back.
Don't
man.
have me locked in my house.
Hey, he didn't have y'all back.
He don't think y'all can rap though. He don't think.
Y'all got to work on that shit.
Right.
I have to be honest. I got to work on that. You know what I
Hey,
mean?
Ash, like, let me be your producer.
Right.
And
But I
your
will-
manager. And your manager.
I put you to smartest development. And,
Let's go.
we'll
Let's
figure it
go.
out.
Let's go. All right, let's jump straight into it. So last time, I don't know if it was last time or the time before, we discussed something about quality versus quantity. Oh,
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Whoa,
We,
whoa.
we said we was like, yo, we was like, we'll talk what we talk now, but we got to talk about it again when we get some female energy in the room. And we don't have to discuss this, but I was just like, I'm
Well,
really
you brought it up.
curious.
We talking now.
Yeah, I guess we got to
Talking.
talk
Yeah.
about it.
have to
curious.
talk.
We
Tease people like that.
So
This is what we doing.
we'll give the floor to April. I'm gonna ask April this. What do
we
you?
got to run down what we mean.
Well,
Yeah, let's-
before we do, I want to give her a chance to give her honest truth definition of how she views the whole, like me saying quantity versus quality. How would you define what that means to you? Not a trick question. I'm just curious because we did that last time before we jumped in it.
Now, are we talking about checkbooks? Because
we could be.
houses.
Which
I like the way she thinks.
Hey,
Jobs? What are we talking about? Careers?
I love where her mind's at already. This is amazing.
I'm just messing with y'all.
let's talk about love life.
Love life.
Love life.
Oh man. See, now this is interesting. I think, if I'm speaking honestly,
Yeah.
that sometimes it is quantity and sometimes it is quality.
That's what I said.
And I think that at different points in your life, it changes, right?
Mm.
Because sometimes you need quantity to see what, like, so you know what you want,
Preach.
how you like it. I'm talking about like relationships, right?
Oh no,
like,
she said it. No, I'm just joking.
like you need to know like what interests you, what is the other person bringing, what are you
Yeah.
bringing, who you are, because relationships tell you a lot about yourself. So I think sometimes quantity is great, especially when you've been stuck and stagnant for a while in something. It's nice to get back out there and remember like who you are and like have some more like, because you grow as a person. And there's moments in your life where you're like, you come in and you think you know who you are, and then you have a series of relationships, whether it's friendships, romantic relationships, family relationships, all those things, and they help remind you who you are or help redefine who you are as you grow. And then sometimes I think it's quality, right? Because then you're like, yeah, like after you don't need the quantity anymore to kind of push you forward. You can like focus on the quality.
Yeah, quantity helps you find the quality.
Exactly.
See, that's funny you say that because you definitely agree with my man Thomas over here. For me, I was thinking like quantity versus quantity is you're one or the other. Like you're either a quality person or a quantity person. And by that I mean like I feel like, this is my own personal opinion, I feel like people, how they date is in one of those two categories. Not saying it can't change. I'm just saying like usually they have some type of favorite. They have some type of direction that they lean more towards. Like me, I'm a quality person, but I have friends who are quantity, meaning like they would go out, we'd be out kicking and stuff like that. They didn't care how good or, the level of quality,
depth,
you know what I'm
yeah.
saying,
But
that person had. They just went for numbers. They like, look, you down? Cool, what's up? You know what I'm saying?
But there's that quality, finding quality in the quantity.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like not just any quantity,
Oh, we
Yeah,
went
there's
find
deeper.
levels to
qualified
this.
Oh, we went deeper.
quantity.
Okay, well,
Yeah,
let's go.
facts.
No, I agree.
Nah, I mean, I agree with that. I mean, I
And
think
you can change because I'm not quantity now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I agree. I think
know
you
what
can change. I think you can consciously change. I think subconsciously you gonna lean to one side. I think some people, I think it's like a matter of like tactically how you want to win. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think some guys is like, look, I'm guaranteed to bring home something for the night if I talk to a bunch of women, right?
Right.
And you got some guys is like, nope, bump that. She the baddest one in here for me subjectively, so that's what I'm going after.
But they not thinking about bringing home nothing for the night, though.
So
Yeah.
what do you mean?
saying?
No, but
If they
some,
thinking about just targeting one
yeah,
and saying, "Oh, they're putting all the eggs in the one basket."
Yeah.
They're not thinking about that.
So is that quantity or quality?
Consequence. That you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That what am I saying? Conclusion.
they yeah, maybe not, but I will say this: they're intentionally trying to focus in on one versus. I mean, at the end of the day, it's not just about that, right? But from a very basic level, when boy meets girl, girl meets boy, however you want to phrase it, you know what I'm saying? The other one's girl versus girl, girl meets girl, boy meets boy. However you want to put it
All
out there
of
for the people out there.
All the letters or
Yeah,
whatever.
Ash is like, yes. Let's move it on. So I'm saying this to say, however that is done, or however whatever you take to, when you go into an establishment and then you see someone, you're going off like very surfacey stuff. Like you don't know who that person is. There is no, hey, look, I know that you graduated from Berkeley and blah, blah, blah. Like there is none of that until you get into a conversation. So I guess mine is just off of the fact of how you're just pre-wired, right? When you walk into that situation, are you more inclined to be like, all right, cool, let me just spread around and talk to everybody, or let me be selective, you know what I'm saying? Whittle the room down to a few that I might find interesting and then just go for that. And that to me is the root of the mindset behind quality versus quantity. That's just my small 2 cents.
What are you thinking, Ash?
I touched on it a little bit last week or whenever it was. And the thing is that I feel like, I don't know, I kind of like am in between both of in between everybody's idea. That's why I didn't really have some like hard, oh, no, none of that. I kind of agree with both parties here because I do feel that, that I see Jay's perspective. And also see your guys' perspective where it's like, yeah, like I kind of said this last week. I'm like, quality, quantity, which that can be perceived a lot of ways. But I do feel that, yeah, like if you have a certain standard for yourself, hopefully that, you're attracting, quality. And then if you are still in that, I guess in the stage of a relationship or a stage of life where you're still free and you're kind of out here trying to find the right person. Yeah. Then you got to play. It's a number game, but a number game of high value aspect.
I think it's really interesting because one of the things kind of popped in my head was like, have you guys talked about this where like quality or quantity, but more specifically like when you're dating someone, I just lost my train of thought. Oh, I hate when that happens. I'm going to pop back up.
No, it's fine. No, I'll come back to you.
But I guess like just to kind of just say that, I just think that like, yeah, you when you're still trying to search, I guess for that one. Go ahead.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
I thing that popped in my head was like dating sometimes like when you like somebody, when you're interested versus dating people who are interested in you. And that becomes a quality thing too. Like, right? Like when you start to date people who like you, it could be quality or it could be quantity. And when you start to date people that you like, it can be quality.
So you saying, hold on, you saying a quantity person talking to a quality person?
Yeah.
That's different.
You know what I'm saying?
That was like a little rank there. You know?
That goes deeper.
Like you can't be quality.
I like that.
You my quantity. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I think we also touched on this before. I was like, it just depends on what you deem, because we're still talking about a subjectable topic, meaning that like, what's quality to you?
Right.
Hell, sometimes it's not. Like I tell people, like sometimes the most beautiful things have the most horrible aspects about them.
Yeah.
So you can't go off of that. So it has to be about the whole overall package of the human being. And I feel like we were talking about like the soul, I think, last time.
Yeah.
And I made Jay for the first time ever look like a chauvinist. It was amazing. I was like, yes. Jay's like, wait. What we talking about? Rewind this back.
Cold.
Wait a minute.
But no. Okay, pause.
Yeah, I came back though. I came back with a vision.
Okay, so what I was saying though is like when you are a person that you're like, I like this person, so like you're looking at the qualities, right? Like this is the person I'm interested in, and then or you can be like, this person's interested in me. And is like, does that shift it to a quality or quantity person?
So
you
you're
know what I'm
saying
saying?
at what point does it shift? Or?
No, I'm saying like when you are going after people that you like versus you're going after the people who like you.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying? Like, because that's a quality quantity thing too. You know what I mean?
Are you attracting a quantity guy?
But are you still dating the quantity while you going after the quality?
See, this is what
So
I'm
that makes you
is the
quantity.
question. That is the question. It's like, are you dating
That's
the person who's
quantity
after
there.
you?
Yeah.
Because that's a quantity, right? Or
Well, potentially. Because they well,
Damn.
maybe.
God, that is a...
We in the Matrix right now, by the way.
Oh, see?
That's why I got on the glasses today. I'm Neo in here right now. I'm trying to figure this shit out.
Henceforth, this version of Ash shall be known as Neo.
I'm Neo.
Hey.
I'm Neo. I'm trying to unpack this matrix we're in.
Well, what I'm trying to get at is that like it's a totally different mindset when you're dating somebody that you like versus when you're dating somebody who likes you.
No, I'm with you.
I do. I get that. I dig that.
I agree with you. I think you play that game in the beginning of a relationship. You exist in those intentions from the beginning. You play in those roles in the beginning, right? Until you get to a point where you're like, all right, cool. You like me, I like you, cool. We can move past that. So I'm with you. Because at first, like, you might be in a straight quality mode where you like, you know what, consciously, intentionally, I'm not trying to put anything in my life that's not quality, right? Mm-hmm. But someone picked you based on quantity. So like you got to decipher, are you looking for quality or are you really trying to do quantity? If it is quantity, then you know what, maybe I'm not for you type of a deal.
Yeah. Or sometimes it doesn't matter, right? Because like you can be if you're in a quantity stage and somebody of quality comes and you're like, bro, it don't really matter because I'm just in quantity. I'm just trying to,
Yeah. So, and that's why I think people mess up.
Yeah.
I think they miss their blessings, and it may be weird for to say like, bro, how is coming across someone a blessing? There's the bajillion women out here. There's not a bajillion man, but there's a bajillion women out here. There's a good amount of men out here for me to
Shout out
choose.
City Boys.
There's more women out here than men. To be real.
T-shirts to come.
But I'm saying t-shirts. I'm dead. But the point is that when you look at it like that, you start to take a step back and see, okay, cool. You got to be a little careful how you go about things. You know what I'm saying? You got to be a little bit more intentional. You know what I'm saying? How you go about it. So,
That's crazy.
But okay, well now we're gonna steer this boat a little bit, and I'm gonna tell you what else. Now, when that happens, I'm a big believer in this. I think you meet people because of the fact that there are billions of people. When there is somebody who comes into your circle or your bubble for whatever reason, good or bad, I think they're kind of supposed to be there for some weird reason because there's so much chance of you not to cross paths, right?
Yeah.
Right or wrong? Is this a right or wrong thing? I mean, I don't know. Well, am I going a little bit more metaphysical?
No.
Maybe because I left this reading.
I think
You're
I'm
very
in tune
spiritual,
right now.
man.
I'm in tune.
Motherfucker's aura is bright.
hey, we don't need no tuning fork at all. Where we at, baby?
Because I just, you feel what I'm saying? There's so much randomness in life. You hit on it. You said, man, there's billions of people out here. So why are me and her even talking?
No, that's real.
Why am I even getting your number right now? Like, let's not even go even further. You know what I mean?
That's real. But even if you go to that depth and realize, hey, look, I'm in front of someone right now, and we had the odds of meeting we met, right? So let me cherish this moment and try to understand if you're the right one for me, right? Check. But in reality, that person still may not be the right one. As
Right.
deep as you may go in that moment, they still might just be a hot garbage. You know what I'm saying?
Can it be a lesson?
You can do.
That could be a lesson, honey.
Could it be could it be a page in a long book?
Hold on, but let me ask you this.
L's are for lessons. L's are for
Let me
lessons.
ask
the
you
way I
this.
look at
Let me
life.
ask you
You hear
this.
me?
Let me ask you this.
Facts.
Is it a lesson if you already learned it?
Well,
Yeah, sometimes
but-
you got to repeat
no,
those
no,
lessons.
no, wrong, Jay. If you learned the lesson, you shouldn't fall for it again.
No.
So you're repeating your grade.
Hold on. Wait.
You have to do over kindergarten. Okay?
But are you repeating your grade if we're talking about in the moment someone approaches you, right?
Correct.
You in the spot, right? You didn't say, "Look, I'm gonna take you on a date." You just like, "Hey, how you doing?" Woo, woo, woo. And they're like, "Yeah, I'm just, I'm out here to be out here." You know what I'm saying?
But I
Energy
think,
begets energy. So
I
why do
think
you
that
keep
hits-
attracting that?
Ooh.
You got to look at yourself.
but I think that hits on something you were saying, Ashley, before the podcast, which
Yes.
is like sometimes you can limit yourself by not moving past things that you are so comfortable with.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Right? So when you see that again and you're like, oh man, this is comfortable. I feel
And then you just fall right
like,
back
fall
into it.
it.
But guess what that is? That's you just haven't. You're not progressing in your book of life.
Right.
So you keep having to reread that chapter
That's
until
right.
you're tired of rereading that
facts.
chapter.
Hey.
Maybe then you'll turn the page. And turning the page means what? Moving on.
Oh, facts.
Oh, preach!
Moving on, honey.
I'm getting an audio book without leaving right now.
Hey, we got Neo back in the house, baby.
Neo Soul.
Pass
We'll call
that
Neo
tray
Soul.
around for an
Call
offering.
Neo.
Hey, the offerings can happen to I think on on YouTube.
Right. No, yeah.
You guys can send some offering.
Your OnlyFans manager.
Tip your OnlyFans
Subscribe.
manager.
Just hit that subscribe button.
Hey, I gotta keep my Cadillac clean, baby.
Not the lag.
The lack. I gotta stay fly, baby.
Oh,
You feel me?
come on. Now, I think it is interesting though with it all. What you just said is interesting. But let me ask you this, April. Do you believe this is gonna get me in trouble again? Do you
I love it. Let's go.
do you believe that people should start thinking about settling down at a certain age? At what age? Let me not do that. At what age do you think people should start thinking about like settling down, or like the idea of settling down?
That's a great question. Ooh, that's hard. I would say, like, I'm not going to even put my gender in this, but I would say part of me feels like
Now put it in.
I feel like as a woman, it's very different than a man, right?
Okay.
Because you have a time clock and you have a certain time that you have to get things accomplished, or you run out of time, right? So I think there is a movement where that time clock is being elongated by modern medicine, all the things, you know. But I do think you do feel like, because society reinforces these things, that like by 30, you got to be thinking about, and I know there's going to be a lot of women who are like, nah, no, that's whack, blah, 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 blah. But, and people will say, hey, yo, there's no time clock. But realistically, I think from a woman's perspective, I think at 30, you start to really evaluate like when you're settling down. How soon is it going to happen if you haven't already? Or if you're in a relationship that is not really, it's like a boyfriend. Because there's different relationships. We all know that, right? But like there's those relationships that's like you could be in a boyfriend and girlfriend relationship forever. Or you could be settled down.
Yeah.
And you start to hit 30, you're like, I'm in that boyfriend relationship forever. I got to exit and make a new plan.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think for dudes, though, they don't ever have to settle down.
Never do.
Never
do.
Yeah.
Never. And I think that's what's like messed up because one, the ratio, like I was talking about earlier, there's more women than men. But then when you're talking to dudes, they know they don't gotta settle down. And now with apps, bro, they don't ever feel like they ever have to settle down.
Hey, we don't tag Ashley. Brother
Right,
Ashley,
Ashley,
I have to say this,
bro.
brother Neo.
And I hate
And I
the
feel
grab.
like Ashley, though, one thing I'm gonna say, I feel like you are one of those swipers that you could have been a swiper in a former life. I think you're on a
Swiper,
good
you better
path
stop
now.
swiping.
Yeah.
But I feel like you could have been a
Swiping Neo.
swiper forever because you'd be like, oh, bruh, this is like, I have a Rolodex
Abundance.
practically.
Right, abundance. But I'll say this. Now I'm gonna throw it right back to you after this. Women have the upper hand for the majority of life until you get to that threshold, right? Because honestly, a guy can be, and I hate to attach to like what the manosphere and all these guys talk about, but it is facts. When I was in my early 20s, prime physical condition, prime everything, but no money, right? No status, no money. So guess what? Guys with status and money got all the women that I really liked.
Okay.
At that time. I mean, or perceivably liked.
Right.
They could have been trash. I'm not saying that.
Right.
I'm just saying perceivably, okay? I'm not
Right.
going to sit here and do a deep analysis. But let's just say this. Now, they're getting the pick of the litter because what? They are what? They have more experience. They have more things. They have, they've put in the work. They have, nice vehicles outside. They have the code. The only time it's like not real is when you're dealing with like a pro athlete or some weird shit like that. Yeah. And when that's like 1 in a trillion or some shit, 1 in a billion. I don't know what the fuck it is, but it's just very unlikely that a person that is like 21, 22-year-old has like all that money that's not like born into it. Type shit, right? Yeah. Is that correct? So if a man has to actually like crawl his way up, whether he comes from a good background, a good family, all that, if you still had to crawl your way up the economic ladder, in your early 20s, you don't have it. Is that fair?
Facts.
Well, when you say early 20s, what defines early 20s?
I'm talking about anything below 25.
Oh yeah, I'm with you.
So what I'm trying to say is, so at that point, that's when girls are like, when they're in their early 20s, what are they? They look great, right? So therefore, they have the pick of what? Of anybody. They could date a dude who is on the NBA team. They could date a doctor who's like some user. They could date some dude who's made all his money and retired somewhere. They could date anybody they really want to date. They could date a motherfucker who's 18. They could date you. They could date anybody. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying they can date anybody they really want to at that point. True. So therefore, they have had the whole luxury their whole life, right? So now things get better. That's why they say that what happens is men come into their own later in life. Because later in life, you finally start to get the upper hand. You finally start to have financial means. Yeah. You finally start to eat. Let's just say you only have financial means, my man. You start to just have a little bit of understanding of the way the women's psychology works. The way you even know how to deal with them better. Yeah. You know how to do all this shit that you could not do when you were like, when you were 21 and 22.
But I also think that like women tell you when like you can go towards sex. And men tell you when you can be in a relationship.
That's 100% facts.
No, I agree with you.
And so then like that still kind of replicates when you go back to relationships and say like, who is going to be able to decide if you get married? It's usually not the woman, right? Or who is going to be able to decide if you settle down? It's usually not the woman because you need the man to say, okay, cool, I'm ready. And then the effed up part about men though is when they ready. It's almost like they don't even care who's around them. They just be like, okay, I'm ready to settle down.
I wouldn't say that. And I generally agree. Yes, a woman controls sex for the most part. I'm sure there's outliers out there. And men traditionally or usually control, relationships, the start of it. But I think the entry point of, like, outside of just sex, the entry point of hey, look, I want to talk to you, not relationship, but I want to get to know you and talk to you is all women. So like this, when you go out, right, and you, let's say, I'm talking to the fellas, you with your boys and whatnot, right? You see a girl, cool. You're like, hey, what's up? I'm trying to talk to you. Take them out on a date.
Life
cool.
is easy.
Right? You playing that game until typically, until women chooses like, all right, cool.
I remember what Ashley said. He said they have their open sign on.
That is a fact. Hey, April, check this out. Yin and yang. I tell everybody that is the pro. There's a pro and a con to everything. There's a pro and there's a con to being men. Men, we got to go out. I don't care what you look like. I don't even care how much money you have. You still got to work to get a woman to be interested in you. A woman could just go out. Trust me, if they have the open sign on, somebody in the club is going to be interested. And I don't care if you could be a total train wreck. You could be one of the worst human beings walking the planet Earth, and some guy will literally be like, "Yeah, what's up?" Because you turned the open sign, and he like, "Cool."
Nah, he got that quantity sign turned on.
Right.
But Jay, am I wrong? Now a man go to a club. I mean, you can have your shit together. You could look great. You could be in shape. Facts. You could have everything going, man. And some girls will still fucking ignore you because they just want to hang out with their homegirls.
That or they just want to have fun.
Right, because they control that entry.
Yeah.
So therefore, he is so correct. So therefore, you guys have that control. Let us have one other control.
No.
Oh my God, y'all got to control everything?
No, but those are pretty big controls because, entry is...
That's how you even meet a person, April.
Yes,
But April, without entry, there's no marriage. Think about it.
But like you said, there's always one girl in the club that's ready for something.
But now, do I want to marry that girl, April?
Are you trying to say what quantity?
Right. So I'm trying to say, though, like, there's somebody for somebody. But it's tough, though, like, when you talk about settling down. Because when you get into this age bracket, when dudes don't, like, literally, you can procreate for the rest of your life. There is no stopping date. So y'all can be like, okay, cool. I still got... I'm 30 now? I still got another 40 years before I have to make a decision.
Well, your shot's going to dry up at some point. So you might be shooting blanks at some point.
I would tell, if you want my opinion, I don't want to speak for females out there, but I will. I know, here I go. I do feel that if I'm a female, I take dating super serious in my 20s. And honestly, I have a daughter coming. I'm going to tell her, take it serious in your 20s. Because I'll let you rebut. I'll let you rebut. I know it's coming. I know the wrath is coming. I know it's coming. But I'm saying take it serious in your 20s. I would tell, if I have a boy, I would say, take your finance and your purpose serious in your 20s. Start to build yourself a life. Like, maybe put relationships on the back burner for a little bit until you get yourself in a proper position, because like April said earlier, no matter what age you are, you can always get married, start a relationship, have children. So therefore, you just need to make sure you have your shit together, my man. A woman, you need to catch a guy.
Well, here's my
Kevin
thing.
Samuel said that too.
Yeah.
I would say this.
Shout out to him. Rest in peace. R.I.P.
Bro. But I will say
Ash is
this.
like, shout out to
the
bro.
problem though is that with us, you know, we were like either born in the 90s or raised in the 90s or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And the challenge is that group think that was happening in that moment was like, women be independent. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, don't depend on a man for nothing. You can get your own money, have your own degree, get your own house, have your own car, have your own job, which is great advice, because I think in some sense of the word, you have to be independent to live in this world right now, right?
100%.
Like, and you don't want to depend on a man, girls. Like, I'm just gonna be real with you. Have your own stuff, make your own decisions, so you don't have an Ash that's gonna tell you when your clothes side has to go on. I'm just teasing.
Now I'll just be a manager. No, I'm just...
See, this is where we're going. Red flags to watch out for.
Help you get your 20s together.
But in your 20s,
He'll make a book.
bro. But like in your 20s is when all that stuff is happening. You're either graduating from college by 22 to 24, right?
Early
Correct.
20s.
Early 20s. And then
Depending
you're
if you're a
getting...
professional, then you have to go even longer in school.
Exactly. And then if you're a professional, you have to get into your career. You got to do your first few years of the work, grind it out. And then next thing you know, you're at 30. And the problem is that if you get distracted, and this is what every father tells their daughter, it's like, if you get distracted and you get with the boy and you find that guy, you're not going to have any of those other things accomplished.
Oh.
Yeah, but here's my thing. Okay, I think that's a good point to make. And I said something crazy last time. I'll say it again. I feel like every person by the age of 25 should start to have a conversation with themselves. And when do they think they want to settle down? Because I feel like at that point in time, if you're a female, you definitely should do it by then. At least start figuring out like what range you looking at. Like, hey, look, I'm out.
Male doesn't matter. Promise.
But then you also have to think about location too, because
we back at it.
location, because like, okay, if I look at it and think about like, if you're on a like where you are in the country, in the world, like what is your available men in that region for you? Like, and that's the other thing, like to your point, if you're going to have that conversation with yourself at 25, the thing that no one is telling you and you don't experience until you're there is like, okay, am I in the right location to find the type of man that I'm looking for? That's
why you should have a conversation. It's a preliminary conversation. It's not the conversation to say I'm settling down now. to that point. It's for you to start to have those thoughts to think about, oh crap, am I in the right place where I should be? And you know what I'm saying? For fellas, it's like, all right, cool, I'm done making my moves. All right, cool. At what point do I need to maybe start shifting a little bit to the left and taking what's in front of me a little bit more serious? You know what I'm saying?
But let me ask you this.
Ash is like, I'm ready to jump in.
Let me ask all three of y'all this. Okay, so we talk a lot about music. Y'all are interested in music, right?
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think Missouri is the best place for music?
No.
No.
Producer of talent, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think the
Business
work,
acquisition, no.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Movers and shakers in the music industry
Don't
are
live
probably
here.
No.
not living here.
No.
But do you have what it takes today if you could move to the place where the music is going to...
No, it's not, because I'm about to beat the trap, guys. Follow your boy through this
Okay,
hole.
so
Watch.
Go.
We're about to go
not
through it, but
following.
like, do you have what it takes today? Like,
I
not
need the
even
map.
today, but at that age of 25,
But
you know you want to be in
have
music.
Okay, now we have to
my
speak to
way.
something that we have here.
Clean the glasses.
What do we have here that's available now that wasn't available 25 years ago or 10, 15 years ago? We have the internet. And therefore, man, listen, right now you could turn your Tinder profile on any city right now. I'm just saying, I mean, guys, I
Are
know
you
guys.
really, as a dude, are you taking
I know
girls who
some
don't
guys-
live in the state?
I know some guys that are so desperate. Knock
that
on
beat-
wood.
See,
And I'm not
desperate.
calling them out.
Desperate dudes.
No.
Now he's trying to get y'all
He
onto
has
the
flown.
desperate
He
dudes.
has flown women
He
out.
trying to get you onto the. He trying to get
He
you to
has-
be the girl in the club that's always
can
open.
they fly people out? Jay, is this a thing?
Yeah,
Is
we
this a
talked
thing?
about that.
Well, we
talked
talked about getting
that.
flown out.
Can you get flown out?
Yeah, you get flown
So
out.
that means you don't live in my city, right?
They get flown out
Yeah,
these
you get
days,
flown
April.
out.
And if I'm
Get
look,
flown
look,
out.
and by the way,
Do y'all know any stories of those that
Hold on,
get flown
wait.
out?
Wait, you
that
can't
they
do it if you broke
actually-
though. You can't do it if you broke.
Bro, right.
but do
the
women
ones
are
that
women
get-
are women?
Spirit.
Hey, but are women?
Better weigh less than
Are
70
women-
pounds. I'm just saying.
Right.
This is where I feel like this is where
fees on
where
that
it's
shit.
gonna wrap all the way around, guys. I promise. I'm gonna stop being so jovial. Now, this is where it wraps around. Women have to realize that if women played the game fairly, like meaning that like if they literally just gave guys a chance because of potentially like who they are and all that, because a lot of guys get X'd out by women. It's just a fact. Just because a girl's like, oh, I couldn't date him because of, okay, cool. Okay, cool. Then you stay over there.
Okay.
Now, how many men? I don't care where you live. I don't care what you look like, my man. You just seen a girl do that. Everybody, okay, cool. Nothing more to say. Have a nice life, right?
Yeah.
Okay, right?
Yeah.
Right? So therefore, at this point, it's like this. If you're gonna be like that, and then later on want to be like, damn man, why just couldn't nobody? No, I don't want to fucking hear it.
So you said keep that same energy.
Keep that same energy, because honestly, to me, I feel like people aren't fair. Being that like, okay, like if you connect with a guy,
Yeah.
and you like his energy, he may not be your prototype, but fuck who the fuck is, man. We all got flaws, man. Right? Man, woman, child, everybody has a flaw.
Yeah.
So therefore, really, it like you have to like give people opportunity. I'm not telling women to date toxic men. I'm not telling men to
Don't do
date
that.
trashy ass women. I'm not
Right,
saying
right,
that.
right. Don't do that.
I'm not saying go play in the trash. I'm just saying, but no matter what, we can't always just be based
go
on this
dumpster
on this IG lifestyle that everybody got to have paper. Or everybody got to have like a
but
shit ton of money or
Oh
a
no, what about the
millionaire.
recycle bin?
Hey,
A nice, clean plastic bottle to
Hey, we
play
talked
with.
about that too.
But,
Hold on,
but
wait.
you know what though?
about
You
the
know what though?
recycle bin, we
You know
say.
what? You know how many guys? I ain't gonna even call them by names because they don't even
Please
deserve their name called on this podcast. And it's that they will get in the recycle bin after a glass has been broken 1,000 times and pieced together with some tape, and then pour some Coke in it and drink out of it.
Right.
Hey, we talked about it last time. They'll even get in your recycle bin. Hold on. They'll even get in your recycle
They'll
bin.
get in your recycle bin and tape together whatever's left, or whatever's left on the plate. They'll
Where'd you
eat
get
it.
that? Did you get that on my trash can, dog?
Hey, bro, that look like mine. This ain't yours. This ain't yours.
That's still mine.
Hey, yo, bro, you know that, like, you know, the plate was almost empty. I mean, as a friend, let me give you a little heads up.
There's a reason why it
There's a reason why it's in the trash.
The reason why I talk right. The reason why I talk that shit.
One man's trash is another man's treasure.
And yo, and shout out to those guys, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But all I'm trying to say is that let's talk. If we're talking about quality, if we're gonna keep this a quality conversation,
Yeah.
quality is a thing where I feel like sometimes women overlook it and males overlook it too another way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like
100%.
you'll miss a great girl because you're being too much of a whatever, and then you're dumping the trash can thinking that that's something, and then you like, oh shit. Now I got scabies. You know what I mean?
I don't know what that is. I want it though. All right, hold on.
About to say,
I'm gonna say that.
Is that something you can get from the trash can? For
Yeah, scabies, guys.
Hold on.
Get your mind out of the gutter.
Hold on. We're going to end that segment on scabies because that's just too funny not to end it on.
All right, yeah.
So we'll wrap down this segment. If you tune in and watch for the next segment, or listen to the next segment, and we'll be back in a little bit.
All right, yep, let's do it. All right, shout out PCs.
Yep.